And we welcome you to Oker Field here at the University of Michigan for semifinal game number 1 of 2 here today for the right to move on to the national championship. Liberty and Maryland getting set to do battle here in just a little bit. The winner of this game gets the winner of Harvard and Northwestern. That comes your way at 4 o'clock Eastern time today on ESPN+. Winners meet Sunday at 2 o'clock Eastern for the championship on ESPNU. And we're excited to bring it all to you. Welcome everyone to Michigan. Mike Corey alongside Leah Secondo. How about it? How about our Final Four teams remaining here this year?
Well, it speaks volumes of the parity in the country, something we've been discussing all season long. We've got 4 teams, 3 that have never won a national championship, and for Maryland looking for their first national championship in over 10 years.
Let's start with this semifinal game number 1, Liberty and Maryland. How exciting is it for the Flames to be in this position?
And it all starts with Jill Bolton, the Big East champions, the Big East Player of the Year in Bolton. She's got great reach, and with that reach, it'll set up the defense into offense, the MVP of the tournament. This is a Liberty team that is a scoring machine. Watch out for them inside the circle. Their activity in the circle is incredible all season long. For Maryland, BB Donrat. You want to talk about speed. Donrat is all over the field. Great acceleration, super hands, and a blazing backhand shot. 12 goals on the season, but complements that with 7 assists, able to set up her teammates in the open field.
The winner moves on to the national championship game. Liberty, Maryland. The pass back from the University of Michigan is next. We are back in the 2021 NCAA Division I Field Hockey Championship. Semifinal game number 1 of 2 today. We get it started with Liberty and Maryland. Mike Corey, Leah Secondo, welcome back to Oker Field here at the University of Michigan. Let's get to our starting lineup. We'll start with the Liberty Flames, 19-2 on the season for 5th-year head coach Nikki Parsley-Blocker.
Azul, Eret City, Edie Goshen. Remember her in goal. She's just a sophomore at 5'4", but a great stature. Her goals against average, 8th best in the nation at 1.10.
And there she is, wearing number 91 for the Liberty Flames. And of Argentina, the sophomore goalkeeper for Liberty, as this team is in their first ever Final Four. Leah, just their 11th season in Division I.
And it's really amazing how they've made the transformation into D1 and to be able to play at this level. 6 shutouts on the year for this Flames squad. On the flip side, Noah Frost, the goalkeeper for Maryland. Her first 2 seasons played a combined 11 games, but ever since that point, Mike, she has been the mainstay in goal, and one of the reasons, competing in the Big Ten play, that Maryland is in this position today. It all starts from the back to the front with Frost in net.
Number 1, Frost, her 6th season, the graduate student out of Glenwood, Maryland. We've done so many games this year where it's all been freshman goalkeepers. You've got probably the most experienced here in the nation with Maryland right now.
Miss Mahart smiled when we pointed that out last night because it's so important. And how many teams have we seen across the country progress along? Starting with goal, it's trial by fire, those early points in this season. Sometimes it's painful. Frost has had those moments, but she's really, really tested. And what I like about the Terps is we take a look at them here before they break their huddle. This is a team that doesn't have a real big star like we've seen in the past with the Maryland squads. It's really been a combined effort as Frost now heads back to the goal to start for the Terps.
And there she is, Missy Maharg, in her 34th season as head coach, 9-time National Coach of the Year award winner. You see the 7 national titles as head coach. She was there for the first one when she was an assistant, so involved in all 8 national championships for the Maryland Terrapins. Nikki Parsley-Blocker, so excited for her group here. We talked to her yesterday. Her 5th year, Leah, a Northwestern graduate of 2014. They're coming up later in our semifinals, but how about her career? 1 year, 2 years at Yale as a volunteer assistant, 1 year at Liberty as an assistant, and has become the head coach in a very short amount of time, has them in this spot.
Yeah, it's really a great story, the whole Liberty story in itself. We have so many different storylines that are first for many of these squads today, and the former 3-time all Big Ten player, now a coach, having the opportunity to vie with Liberty for a national championship.
Underway here today from Oker Field at the University of Michigan. We had an hour delay for the start of this field hockey match because there was a little bit of ice and snow, if you will, right here on the near side of the midfield line, Leah, and it took them a little while to get that settled up.
All right, so we were here in 2015 when Syracuse won their first national championship in any sport for women's, and the field crew here is phenomenal. We have been delayed, but they have put this field in position today, and much in part, Mike, because of the way the sun kind of flows from east to west right now. There's a buildup in the shade that can be a little bit slippery as we see some good pressure here by the Flames, not letting Maryland get it out of the back. That could cause some slipperiness, but they have done all that they can to make this surface tight and non-slippery. A good held whistle coming into the circle for these teams to compete this afternoon.
Liberty battling here early on and putting on the pressure as they have it on their offensive end of the field. A minute and a half gone by. Inside the circle it goes. And good job by the Terrapins to get it out.
They are really, the Flames are, and this is a great way to relieve the pressure. Flames threw a bunch of players upfield. You're trying to relieve the pressure by having that throw, which is a super skill to be able to use. Nice transfer by Liberty. Ball goes up, and that will be a hit for, or a side in, actually, it should be inside, for Liberty.
Let's talk about that aerial ball there for a second, because there was nobody down that end of the field, so you're not having to worry about it being dangerous or into players. You just got to get it out of there and change the field position.
Absolutely, and it just takes the pressure off the defense. Maryland trying to move quickly here.
Chasing after it here is Kyler Greenwald, and she has it for Maryland. Gets it inside the circle, looking for her teammate Margot Lawn, and it's out on the end line. Restart here with Brooke Deburdine. What an outstanding career she's had. National team member, and the graduates to the goal. A save here by Edie Goshen. Good job there for Liberty early on. Ball though in the stick of Deburdine. He goes right back inside the circle, crosses it in front. Shot on the way is blocked. Still loose. Penalty corner is called, and Maryland's going to have the first opportunity today on the corner 3 minutes in.
Leslie Hamlet there trying to utilize the opportunity with that stick on the good matchup inside of the circle. Wrong side of the stick on that play, making it an easy call as the Terps get the first corner call of the afternoon.
Edie Goshen got the save and the sequence prior, and then Maryland put it right back inside the circle, put the pressure on. They've got a chance here to go in front. Her leg sets it down, pass right back to the inserter, flipped up and over the goal that time.
Maryland really dictated the motion on that corner opportunity. Got the movement that they wanted. Trying to go off goal.
Rain Wright, the sophomore, number 17. Nice movement up the field here for Daniela Rhodes for Liberty, but it's broken up and taken away here by Brooke Deburdine, and then Rhodes gets it back. Rhodes didn't quite get all of it there, but has it inside the circle. The ball goes up into the player for Liberty, so Maryland called for the infraction. Corner for the Flames coming up their first of the day.
Verla trying to quickly do a one-touch and get that ball out of the circle, but watch what happens here. Number 4 in black trying to step in and unfortunately put it right up into the player, making an easy call for the corner play opportunity, the first now for the Flames.
There's Rhodes, number 10. Out of South Africa. Big East Player of the Year. Up at the top of the circle. Maddie Hostler to insert here for Liberty. First corner of the day for them. Shot on the way, save, rebound, pushed out.
That was a little tricky there. You were expecting the wind-up and a little drop-off there.
Frost able to make the save for Maryland. Each goalkeeper with one save so far here in this first quarter. Here's Reagan Underwood. And over now to Hostler. Good takeaway there by the Terps. It was Juliana Tornetta that time. Liberty, #1 in the nation, scoring, assisting, points, margin, everything this season.
Well, and the one thing about Liberty, too, is they are 9-2 against top 25 teams. So that number isn't massaged at all. They, have played formidable opponents to garner that type of numbers in so many different categories.
Yeah, let's talk about that game back on October 10th at North Carolina. We called it 4-0. The win over the Tar Heels in that game. That really kind of jump-started them a little bit, and Coach Parsley Blocker talked about the next games that they had that really helped this group out too. They didn't want to have a letdown. They went to Temple, Longwood, Providence, and Kent State, and they won those 4 games by combined 16-5.
And it all started actually last season. Team met in the football locker room to close out the season with open hands. And they said that they were going to start the season the same way. That has really been their mantra.
And how about the road here to this semifinal game today? Knocked off St. Joseph's 2-0, and then the shootout over the #1 seed in Rutgers 3-2.
Yeah, and Rutgers too. We really should commend them as this one gets inside the circle. What a great few years they have had to develop their program quickly and garner the opportunity to be the #1 seed. Actually, the first 2 rounds of this championship round of NCAAs has been spectacular this year. The committee did a great job, I think, just trying to find the right teams as far as the automatic bids and the qualifiers that were available and the pairings. Very exciting to get to today's round.
8.5 to go here in the first quarter. Just underway today. Semifinal game #1 of 2. Winner moves on to the national championship game. We'll have it for you on Sunday at 2 o'clock Eastern on ESPNU. Coming up later today at 4 o'clock Eastern, ESPN Plus is semifinal game #2 with Harvard and Northwestern. This ball taken in here by Hostler for Liberty, but right back over to Maryland and Maura Verleg. #4, she controls it.
You mentioned Hostler's name as a player on the circle play for Liberty, but she is a key piece on their defense as well. She really knows how to move players off their comfort zone inside the circle and doing a nice job putting numbers up for Liberty right now, being challenged here on the play.
Fighting through traffic, Anna Castaldo. And it's over for Juliana Tornetta. Halfway through the first quarter of action. Each team has had 1 penalty corner thus far. Each 0 for 1, of course. No score. Maryland over to Hope Rose for the moment, but it's going to be going the other way.
Yeah, Dykema breaking up that play for the Flames. Talk about that defense. Making it very difficult, really closing things in and not allowing the Terps to pour that water in the bucket, as Missy Mahard mentioned to us last night. Trying to garner the opportunity to run the ball from transition into an offensive play.
She talked about it. She said there's a lot of trust between the players on this year's team. You can't be surprised, really, ever, that Maryland is in this position, but 15-6 on the season. They've been tested this year as well.
No question. They're in their Big Ten play, and Missy spoke to us at length about the transformation that her program has had to make from the ACCs, where they obviously were extremely successful. And one of the original charter schools of the conference into Big Ten play, and that first season in 2014 in Big Ten play, winning a Big Ten title. I mean, so much happens.
Here we go, an opportunity again for Maryland inside the circle. Winding up and on the shot, it's loose in front, and it's coming out before that. Ooh, right there, Margot Long for a moment, and then there's Deburdine, Emma Deburdine, 16 for Maryland.
May have caught a body part, and of course in this sport you cannot play the ball with any part of your body or advance it.
Terrapin's possession.
Stalda doing a nice job getting herself into traffic to force that call.
Vaughn in front, deflected all the way to the other side of the field. They're looking for their 9th national championship. 7 for Missy Maharg as head coach, 1 when she was an assistant. But you talked about it at the Open. It's been a while here. It's been 10 years now.
And you know, Missy has been a Terp long in her days with Sue Tyler, and really been one of the programs across the country that even internationally players and coaches at all levels are familiar with. And I think it's a testament with Missy and her program and her coaching staff. We'll talk a little bit about more. So many of the coaches talk to us about the assistant coaches, how they've helped get teams to be able to maintain that high level of play. That Missy consistently puts her teams in that position.
Terrapins here putting some pressure on. They're going to keep it inside here. Nice play, and it's kept in there by Riley Donnelly. She has it on the near sideline. Coming up on 4 minutes to play in the first. Donnelly, in it goes. Liberty with a stick on it. Stays with Maryland here. How about what they're trying to do here, as you see spreading the field a little bit, trying to reverse direction, looking for those gaps right in this Liberty team that's been pressing up a lot here today.
And not only pressing a lot, but in the circle, they are marking so tight and stepping in, anticipating in front of the Terps to break up the plays and then quickly get the ball out of the circle. Good patience here.
You had said to me earlier about Missy and how long and how successful she's been here. Like, I wonder what her coaching tree, is like. We got to put something together with that. Well, one of the coaches coming up in our second semifinal, Cherrick von Hervarden, the head coach for Harvard, was an assistant under Missy for quite some time. We have so many connections in this Final Four this year.
Absolutely, and that's, again, one of the many storylines that we have. And for Cherrick, he was hesitant at first. You're leaving a program that he was a big part of 5 of those national championships, and really starting from scratch in a program that wasn't even talked about on campus in field hockey at Harvard.
It's being talked about now. Liberty, whistle on them. It's going to be Maryland possession here just outside the circle with 2 minutes and 40 seconds to play in the first.
So where that ball is located, it's got to go 5 before it goes in. Maryland decides to bring it back.
Verleg fires it in and out on the end line.
We'd like to have seen the Terps attack the goal a little bit quicker there, try to redirect something in on a hot shot coming from a high percentage area from the top of the circle. They did a nice job getting it from a low percentage area to the middle of the field.
Nikki Parsley-Blocker, head coach for Liberty, told us about Maryland a little bit different in their defensive structure, and that she felt like she had a really good plan here, to counteract that today.
Right, and Coach, she was saying, Coach Parsley, that they hadn't really seen the type of layers that Maryland provides from the back in a 4-4-2 going back to front. And with the quick turnaround, you have a week to look at it on film, but they hadn't seen that type of a setup combination this season.
4 combined shots in the first 4 minutes. We've had only 1 since. Maryland passing there. It was Kyler Greenwald. It got it down low, got it back for the moment. There was number 7 there for Maryland, and it's pushed outside the circle as we come up on 1:20 to play in the first quarter. Liberty had the first couple of minutes where they were putting some pressure on down their offensive end of the field. It's been all Maryland since here. Seems like over the last 10 minutes. Lizzie Hamlet there, number 1 for Liberty. Good pass, but right up to midfield, and it's going to go all the way back to the goalkeeper, Noelle Frost.
Been very impressed with the Flames play inside the penalty stroke area. Their defense has really anticipated, stepped in front of plays, stepped in front of passes, and they get that ball on their stick, Mike, and they just clear it out. They don't fool around with it, just clear it out, get it out the other side of the field.
Under 15 seconds to play in the first quarter. Now Liberty trying to work it inside the circle late here. They do, and they're going to get a corner with 5.7 seconds on the clock. Liberty playing hard here right to the end of the first quarter. How about that?
We talk about playing through to the whistle, and this is a true testament. Battling between the 50s and the 25s. Liberty now with the clock stopped can set up. These are the type of plays. You're not sure how many opportunities you're going to have on goal, but the set pieces could be the difference in this afternoon's action for all 4 teams to be able to advance to a national championship. A great job by Reagan Underwood.
Now Bethany Dykema is going to put it in here for Liberty. Second corner of the game. Shot. And it is going to be another corner. That is the call prior to the clock expiring here at the end of the first. We're going to get one more chance at it here.
Exactly. That whistle did come before the buzzer sounded, so we have to play it out. Yep, you have to play out the foul and infraction in the circle.
Dykema again to insert. We got Lizzie Hamlet, number 1, right there at the top of the circle. Rhodes, here it comes in, and deflected out. And that is the end of the first quarter of action. The 2021 NCAA Division I Field Hockey Championship semifinals, no score. Maryland Liberty to the second after this. Started the second quarter here today from the University of Michigan at Oker Field. No score between Liberty and Maryland. The Terrapins and Missy Maharg, they know a little bit something about this, don't they?
They certainly do. 12-time conference and tournament champions. Missy Maharg and her team, and 30 NCAA appearances for the Terp, but they just don't want to be participants. They want to be finalists 12 times, and oh yes, of course, 8 times national champions, 7th with their head coach, Missy Maharg.
There's Missy on the left and Nikki Parsley Blocker, head coach for Liberty, on the right. First NCAA tournament appearance for her, and first Final Four for the team in school history. How about the first Final Four of any sport at Liberty as well? An outstanding achievement, here this weekend.
And quick to compliment too for Coach Parsley. Who has helped you along the way to mentor you? She said, no question, Tracy Fuchs, who we will see in game number 2, her coach at Northwestern, and also Pam Buston, 2 coaches highly appreciated and thought of coaches in the realm of field hockey who had coached Nikki Parsley.
Anna Castaldo got it inside the circle for the moment there from Maryland, number 14, and it's pushed out, and Liberty trying to work it the other way, and down the sideline it goes. And she also was quick to tell us about her assistant coaches. Alan Good there in the mix, along with Heather Hefner. And she said we would not be here without them. And she said, I know that sounds like coach speak and that we're always saying stuff like that, but she means it. She said they challenge me, iron sharpens iron, and they take their job to the level where she doesn't have to question it. So credit her assistant coaches this season as well. Oh, the deflection in front and off to the right of the goal. How about that there from Maryland? And that was Hope Rose.
This is the quick transition from one side of the field to the other and getting into the open space. And honestly, Mike, I think with the type of goalkeepers that we have, and here come the Flames, and it will be a hit coming in for the Flames, you're going to have to use super technique to get the ball by these goalkeepers. It's not going to be, I have a blazing shot off of my stick. You're going to have to figure out how to redirect the ball, get behind the defense, and redirect the ball into the goal.
That was the best chance they've had so far here today in this game. And now again, the speed from the Terps here. Deburdine right there, 12, gets inside the circle, and she was looking for that pass. Couldn't get it though, and Liberty the other way here with Reagan Underwood. Rhodes back to Underwood. And like every game though, Leah, but how important is communication and looking and thinking ahead here at the next step, the next one, you know, and against these teams.
And you make a great point, you know, as far as looking ahead. Notice how these players, they're anticipating where their teammate is going on a diagonal or a flat pass and being close, but they're also taking the time to pick their head up and see where that player is.
It's like the old Wayne Gretzky line. I love that. He's like, I don't skate to where the puck is, I skate to where the puck is going. Yeah. Brilliant. And you got really one of the best tactical coaches in the game in Missy Marg, and how good she is with knowing that and where players need to be and techniques and tactics. She loves talking about that.
I love the way that Missy had made the comparison to the game of chess when thinking about field hockey in this sport.
4 minutes gone by, second quarter. The NCAA Field Hockey Tournament culminates Sunday right here from Ann Arbor with the National Championship at 2 o'clock Eastern on ESPNU. For more information on the 2021 NCAA Field Hockey Championship, go to ncaa.com, the official online home for all 90 NCAA championships. Keeping that ball in for Liberty, Martu Sion. She's got it. Inside the circle, Sion, stick work, amazing, tries to get it in front, whistle. Oh, it's a corner now, it's gonna be called.
Hostler released the shot before that, but the whistle was called. And Sion really did a nice job tracking this ball down, super hustle, reverses back inside. What a super job, eliminating 2 defenders. The whistle had already blown at that point before Hostler ripped that shot. But what an effort to continue on the play, putting the pressure on for the Flames.
Sion, the freshman from Buenos Aires, Argentina. She's got 6 goals and an assist on the season, number 12 there for Liberty. And here we go with another corner opportunity for the Flames. Can they break this scoreless tie? 10:33 to play in the first half. It's in here to Underwood, who passes it up to the center. Now a shot is on the way. It's blocked. Still live ball here. Kendra Jones with the shot. Saved by Frost. The rebound. It's off to the left side by Lizzie Hamlin.
Hamlin had the whole side of the goal. She had a good 4 feet to work with. This is going to be a great angle to take a look at it on. Watch for number 1. Wide open. Oh! It's off the post.
You saw it, right? Just as you said, you saw all that open goal there and off that post to the left side.
We talk about today being Christmas morning for these teams, and her eyes lit up like she was getting that big Christmas present.
And Maryland goes the other way here, trying to get back at the shot up against Dita Goshen, and it's off to the right. There's Kyler Greenwalt. How about what she's gone through throughout her career? Number 7 from Maryland, the graduate student. From a torn ACL and injuries to come back and all the unbelievable teams over the years.
Absolutely. You know, started off her freshman year, a big piece, played 23 games, gets into that next year, 18 games, goes down with the injury, but comes back, fights through, and really an inspiration for her Terp teammates.
Maddie Hostler here, 16 for Liberty. Up to the top it goes, and it's taken away.
No numbers, so you want to get into an open space.
Brooke Deburdine, number 8 for Maryland. Yeah, you're right, Leah. A lot of white jerseys there, though. It's tough sometimes. You make a play like that, but you got nobody else coming down to kind of help you out.
Right.
You don't want to go one-on-one like that all the time.
Exactly. You don't want to run into the pack. And very wise of Deburdine until her teammates could run up to the ball to kind of take it into a safe area.
You're watching the national semifinals here today from Oker Field at the University of Michigan. Liberty and Maryland for the right to move on to the national championship game, which is Sunday at 2 o'clock Eastern on ESPNU. Coming up later today, semifinal game number 2, Harvard and Northwestern. Bad pass, intercepted inside the circle. Maryland's got it, coming out and making the save that time as Goshen. And it was Hope Rose that had it from Maryland, and it's outside the circle. Leah, bad mistake there, and Hope Rose almost had a chance to make it 1-0 Maryland.
Wow. Edie Goshen came out so far, and you notice how she kind of put her pad straight down, making it impossible to flip that ball up over her body into the goal. But what great defense once again by the Flames to get on that ball and get it out of the circle quickly.
Maryland still attacking here. Taylor Mason, number 9. They try to set something up here, and it's back to her. Up to the top, right at the top of the circle. Tornetta, she gets it inside the circle, and Liberty able to play it out nicely. You're thinking maybe a call there. No,
Bethany Dykma has made consecutive big plays inside the circle to break up the Terps offensively. Number 5 in white for Liberty.
And right now it's Charlotte Van Hold, the senior from the Netherlands, for Liberty. Number 9, that's back in time, right in front of the circle here, and inside of it, Maryland again, and right past Margot Lawn. They try to get it to her, 27.
Maryland putting really good pressure and numbers around the ball. 16 times inside the 25, 12 of those times sustained inside the circle right now, but that's just a testament to the defense.
Liberty one-on-one. Oh, and it's Frost who comes out and makes the play for Maryland, the goalkeeper.
Just poked at it with her stick. That was the only way that was going to save a rocket of a shot.
Jill Bolton tried to get it inside the circle there for Liberty. It's going the other way for Maryland. We're going to have a whistle here, and a green card is going to come out. It's going to be on Liberty.
Talk about getting the shot into the open space. We talk about anticipating where that ball is going to come. Noelle Frost, stick save just by a second. Poking that stick right in there and breaking up that play.
Leah, first green card of the day on Jill Bolton, 25 for Liberty at the end of that sequence.
2 minutes, and we'll see here with the player advantage for Maryland how they utilize it. Try to carry some numbers quickly up the field.
Back to Lawn, Margot Lawn. Feeds it, Kyler Greenwald. And then they try to get it over the other side of the field. Pass a little bit too strong that time for Emma Deburdine. There is Jill Bolton, who is out for the 2-minute green card.
Keep an eye on 27. They have Margot Long up by the circle right now. Trying to work her way to the outside as she comes back onto the ball.
Great call. They try to get it to her. And almost, it was BB Dogger at that time, number 12, that almost took it away. Back to Lawn. She's got it Inside the circle for Maryland. Whistle, corner. Yep, off the foot of the Liberty player that time of Jody Connolly. And Maryland's got a corner coming up.
Nice hustle there by Margot Long. Her name may sound familiar to you because she used to be with Louisville, came back to play for the Terps in her home area through COVID-19, and having an opportunity and making an immediate impact for Maryland right now, really working hard to push for this corner play.
Azul Iritsidi Idegoshin, goalkeeper for Liberty. Have to try to come up with another big play here, along with her defense to keep it scoreless. 4 minutes and 36 seconds to play in this first half. Maryland looking to strike first. It's in, Tornetta sets it down, the shot on the way, save, rebound, another save. The shot that time from Riley Donnelly, and Idegoshin comes up big. It's still inside the circle. Maryland battling in another save from Idegoshin, and it's on the backside of the stick that was used. It's going the other way to Liberty. And right back at it is Maryland. They're going to get a corner out of it. Yeah, how fast does this happen or what?
Whistle means go. We heard Tracy Fuchs talk about that to us yesterday in our coaches conference call, and Liberty tried to move quickly before Maryland could set up and outletting the ball, and it bit them. Maryland got into the passing area and took the ball away and forces the corner call.
And after all those great saves too from Idegoshin there for Liberty, who's got 4 now on the day. And Emma Deburdine, who's going to put it back in, the inserter here for Maryland, with 4:15 to play in this first half. Tornetta stops it. Back over to Verleg. Her shot deflected. Rebound. Liberty, excellent job outside the circle. They control it here this time. And Lexi Hostler has it.
That back line for the Flames, and that time it was Dykma Perara who made the play and broke it up. The back line for Liberty has been spectacular.
Back inside the circle again. Idegoshin with a kick out, and it's finally pushed out, and Liberty now facing heavy pressure here from the Terps over the last 3 or 4 minutes. They still can't change up the field position. It's going to be Maura Verleg. Tried to hit it in that time, and Liberty is back at full strength. Leah Bolton, and the green card assessed to her is up. Yeah, there you go, finally, right?
You know, it's a green card in that situation, and in this sport, I don't feel as glaring as in like ice hockey when you're playing short, and you've got less players on the field. You can mask that issue by just making sure that players are back a little bit more on the defensive side of the ball.
Correct, and you can kind of still play aggressive, right? I mean,
yes.
You don't have to go into, like you said, in hockey, like penalty kill mode, where we're just going to shove it down the other end of the field or other end of the ice and kill off this penalty. No. We've seen, if you will, shorthanded, goals being scored.
Right. And if we were in the overtime frame where it's 6-on-6 field players, yes, there's more open space, players running onto the ball. Then it becomes a little bit more of an opportunity for that team that's up the play.
Yeah, that would be different for sure. 2:20 to play here in the second quarter. Maryland has been on the attack here, but it's still no score. This is Riley Donnelly, 22. They get it up to the top of the circle here. Again, Juliana Tornetta. Shot off the side of the goal. Wow. You can hear that from up here.
That hurts. That would hurt. If that hits the body part, that hurts. That was all post. All post.
How spectacular would that have been had that gone in? She got it just inside the circle there. That backhand missed by inches.
And as a player, you understand that when you're working on your own in the offseason, you're looking to hit balls at the corners of the goal. There's upper corners, lower corners, that high percentage area.
Liberty looking it down the field, and 11 total shots in this second quarter by these teams here. 5 total in the first quarter. Edegoshin credited for 4 saves so far for Liberty in goal. 1 minute remaining in this first half. For Liberty, their last scoreless first half was the Big East title game versus UConn, and Bolton had scored in the third quarter, which was enough to be the game winner in that game for them, 1-0. And you say that because this is the highest scoring team in the nation right now.
Highest scoring team, averaging 3.67 goals per game. Well, it's not redundant here, but how many times have we heard this season defense wins championships?
Yeah.
And at this juncture of the season, that's what it's going to come down to. Off the stick.
Corner.
Wow.
With 20 seconds left here in this first half, too. This is what Liberty did at the end of the first quarter. They got that corner with 5.7 seconds. Now they do it again here at the end of the second.
Hopped right off the defensive stick. Up and dangerous.
What do you got here for this Liberty penalty corner?
Nikki Parsley's done a great job with some wrinkles in her corner plays here in the postseason. We saw that the last trip around. I like the little deception there, just a slide to an extra player. Look at Jody Connolly here.
She's number 8. Number 5, Bethany Dykema is going to put it in, the inserter. It is Connolly. Well, she faked it. You called it for the moment. Now it's loose in front. They try to get back to the inserter with Dykema, and she couldn't quite get the stick on it.
Dykema had her feet just slightly in the wrong direction. So difficult with a right-handed stick. Watch 5 slide into the screen right there on that post. Just couldn't redirect it.
Kendra Jones made a nice fake there, too, at the top, and was able to slide it over. That was a very, very well-designed corner that time by the Liberty Flames.
Again, that redirect play, just trying to find a way to slide the ball by either one of these exceptional goalkeepers.
No score at the end of this first half between Maryland and Liberty here in the national semifinals. Winner moves on to the championship game on Sunday. Take on the winner of Harvard and Northwestern. That is coming up a little bit later on here today at 4 o'clock Eastern time. We're from Oker Field here at the University of Michigan. And no score here at the half. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back with halftime right after this. Maryland Liberty, no score here at the end of the first half. National semifinals. 2021 NCAA Division I Field Hockey Championship. It's a battle. The Flames and the Terrapins. Halftime when we return right after this. Welcome back to Oker Field here at the University of Michigan. No score. National semifinal game number 1 of 2 here today between Liberty and Maryland. Moments ago, we caught up with Maryland head coach Missy Mahard. Coach, a battle so far here in the first half. What are you seeing out there?
Well, it's exciting. It's fast-paced. It's pretty cold. The field is pretty cold, so the ball's moving really fast. I'm pleased with what Maryland's doing. I'd love to find a way to finish. I think their goalie's playing strong. Sometimes we have to stay a little more organized in terms of keeping our free player in the back half, but pleased where we are and looking forward to another half.
Missy, the spacing for your team, no question, once you get into the circle, the Flames defense is kind of tightening up, their backs especially. How do you tell your players just to kind of maybe get into a little bit more open spot, anticipating where that ball's coming?
Yeah, I think you have to interchange a lot more, like laterally interchange, and also when you get the ball underneath the P spot, you got to drop it to the back of the circle. So hopefully we'll get more opportunities like that.
Coach, thanks so much. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
All right, so no score here, and you'd say, okay, time for highlights. Well, there was actually a lot of fast-paced action here, and there was some scoring opportunities in that first half, wasn't there?
Scoring opportunities. The first one, and the only one in the first quarter, actually came from the Liberty. But Maryland, after that, would start to heat up their circle play. And were consistent inside the circle, just could not figure out a way to get the ball behind the Dykema sisters. And Emily, Bethany, and Ashley, who all stepped it up inside the circle with some help as well. Just super play, as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast. inside that stroke area. I thought the back line for Liberty really has been the difference in not allowing Maryland to get the ball.
They have done a nice job. 5 corners for Liberty in that first half. One with under 6 seconds to play in the first quarter. The other with under 20 seconds to play in the second quarter. So they fought right to the end. 3 corners for Maryland in that first half. 4 saves for Azul Arit-City Idigoshin, the sophomore goalkeeper for Liberty. 3 for the graduate student Noel Frost from Maryland in goal for the Terrapins. And we're looking forward to seeing what happens here in this second half and who will advance to the national championship game. How about the seniors, Leah? I know this is something that's exciting. They're not able to do it this year, though. Usually they have that senior game, right, for here at the national championship site?
Right. The 38 seniors are selected and nominated by their coaches based on merit. Unfortunately, due to COVID restrictions, still we will not have that senior game as part of this great weekend where those seniors come in from around the country. But congratulations to the entire senior squad represented. They'll get a commemorative trophy and a shirt. And those shirts, from what I understand, are available for people to purchase as well. But congratulations. We hope to see many of those players turn into umpires.
I was just going to say, and that's
day.
something that you did, right, when
Absolutely.
you were in college for 15 years. Liberty and Maryland. Winner gets the winner of Harvard and Northwestern. That is at 4 o'clock Eastern Time on ESPN Plus here today. And Sunday at 2 o'clock is the national championship on ESPNU. We'll have it all for you, and looking forward to seeing who it's going to be. Now let's check in with Liberty's head coach, Nikki Parsley-Blocker. She joins us now. Coach, no score here in this first half, but a lot of action. What have you seen from your perspective for the Flames so far?
I mean, what a game of field hockey. It is so fun to be a part of this. It's been end-to-end. Maryland's been excellent. I thought we've had a bunch of chances. Hopefully we can put one away on a corner here coming soon.
Coach, your back line has been spectacular between the stroke area and the goal line. That has really been the difference in that first half of play.
Absolutely.
Coach, thanks so much. We really appreciate it. Good luck in the second half.
Thanks so much. Go Flames.
All right, Nikki Parsley-Blocker, the Flames' first ever appearance in the Final Four. And she wanted to get back to action.
Let's go.
Here it is. Second half's underway.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, what did you think before this game started, Leah, in terms of what each team had to do? And then let's see where we're at this point. Take us through that.
Well, I think take it up another level. And I love the way that both teams are anticipating and breaking up plays of where that ball is going before it gets there. And they're putting numbers behind numbers. You've seen it twice now with Maryland in forcing turnovers here in these first few seconds to try to get inside the 25. And I can't say enough. For younger players watching at home, Mike, and I say this all the time, you're not just a forward. You know, you're going back and you're adding numbers in the back to help your defense turn things into offense. And both of these teams are displaying that today with the type of versatility that they have all the ways around the ball.
Liberty's Maddie Hostler, 16, controls it here, second half, just 1 minute gone by.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see a few more aerial balls utilized, here in the first quarter of play, because I really feel it has taken the pressure.
Now, speaking of pressure, Liberty putting it on here now. Inside the circle they come here early in this third quarter, trying to get a corner, perhaps. It is Jill Bolton, 25, and it's taken out by Maryland.
Bolton, we talked about in the open, she has those long arms because of her height. She could get in and break a play. She was just trying to find some separation so that she could get a shot off. Unfortunately, it was a bit too far out in front of her. Here's Bolton here. Can she save it? No.
Jill Bolton, who has 18 goals on this season, number 25 for Liberty in white, a senior out of Pennsylvania. Also 6 assists to her credit as well. I mean, 18 goals, you know, that's up there with UNC numbers.
Exactly. Again, I think Liberty really turned heads. We talked about their strength of schedule that they played, and especially for Coach Blocker. I think that's one of the luxuries of where their institution is located. It allows them to get within really good striking distance to be at a number of quality institutions for non-conference games. A little bit wild with the stick, good held whistle. But it was that North Carolina game, that 4-0 game back in mid-October, October 10th, that I think was really the turning piece of just how good this squad could be heading down the stretch.
No doubt. Maryland here is Margot Law, 27, feeds it up ahead for Kyler Greenwald. She's inside the circle. Greenwald crosses it in front. Not quite there was BB Donrat, 12, tracking it. Almost got a stick on it.
But as important as that Carolina victory was, that 4-0 victory against Carolina at home at Karen Shelton Stadium, I think the games following that were probably even bigger for Liberty because you're worried about a letdown. And there was no letdown by their squad during that time span.
You're right, they didn't have it. They were able to run through that part of the schedule, and then they still played outstanding competition. You know, you got Old Dominion, look out, here they come now. Bolton in the circle, has a chance, shoots and scores! Jill Bolton puts it in, 1-0 Liberty.
The long outlet pass ahead. Nice lead into the frame. We talked about Bolton's great hands and the turnover and the elimination. Backpedaling is Frost. No chance at all as Bolton just took that one extra second to find the spot in the corner, put it away, and the Flames on the board. It's one day when you don't mind sliding on the surface.
Bolton, 19 now on the season. Her first shot of the day, good for the goal. How about that?
Efficiency, but credit the pass up front and ahead. That long pass, Jill Bolton ran onto that ball.
And now Maryland trying to come right back here. Here's the BB Donrat. 1-0 Liberty, and I mentioned earlier about, said UNC numbers meant like UNC numbers of Erin Matson, who has, who's been outstanding with how many goals she's scored. Bolton with 19. I mean, that's, you don't see that much.
And for Liberty, they have two players with double figures with goals on the season, but they have good balance in their scoring as well. Bolton's a big piece of it, but you have to have everybody buy in, and here comes the Terps on the rush.
Inside the circle it goes. Maryland now an opportunity here, trying to tie things up or get a corner. Instead, it's
be a long hit for the Terps. They're trying to work quickly here. I like Edie Goshen. You notice with her blocker, Mike, she was trying to just hold on to that short side of the goal.
Once again, now they want a corner and they got it. Maeve Clune there, 13 for Maryland in front of the action, put her hand up and said, let's go, we got it, and they did.
Good rush inside the circle, and right in there, actually on that initial hit, as the ball went back out, came up off of her body, and Terps with an opportunity to answer here on the set piece.
And it's going to be Emma Deburdine who's going to put it in, the inserter for Maryland, with 9:43 to play in the third as they try to tie it right back up here. Didn't take long. Get back on their end. Looking to make it 1-1. Hope Rose takes the shot. Back to the inserter, and Edie Goshen comes out and makes the save.
Anticipating exactly where that ball was going to go low.
Backside of the stick, the call coming out for the Flames.
Third quarters are the quarters for the Terps. They've out-cornered their opponents in that long ball ahead, 44-23 during the regular season, and a nice job by Edie Goshen. Look at running out. I'm going to cut down that angle on you and make it extremely difficult to either get it by me or find somebody to pass it to.
Tons of time left here. Just under 9 minutes to go in the third. Liberty on the board first, and the goal by Jill Bolton. Now Maryland right back inside the circle again. Backhanded shot. Save Edigoshin. The save comes up, and it's coming out. Sophomore from Argentina. It's come up big here today for Liberty. Flames possession. Lexi Hostler. Hostler again trying to fight through some traffic. Call on Clune that time from Maryland. You know, in a game that was so fast-paced, energy, but no score in that first half. Now with just one goal on the board, I mean, how much does it change things, you know, for each team here a little bit? What do you think?
I think the pace stays the same. You don't want to go away to what you do best. In both of these teams, they're electrifying teams that can turn their defense into offense in a heartbeat of a wrong pass. The talent level is so accelerated between all four teams that are participating today that one little error can be glaring and taken advantage of by the other squad due to the talent on the field.
Maeve Clune got it inside the circle. Juliana Tornetta was going after it there, number 11. And it's all the way over on the far sideline. Still Maryland possession here. But how about three quick circle penetrations by Maryland, Leah, right after that goal by Liberty? And here they come right back in again. Another opportunity. Trying to draw a corner or score in front. Knocked down on the end line.
Yeah, Terps will still retain possession of the ball. Maryland trying to work quickly. Deburdine trying to call for it.
Pushed out, Bolton. Liberty fans on the far side cheering their team on here, making the trip here to Michigan.
I'm glad you could tell the differential. There's a lot of red over on the other side of the field, which is great to see. The fans for both teams here.
Well, the call was against Maryland. It was Liberty possession. I saw people clapping, so I figured that it was the Liberty fans there. So, you know, they're more on the left side. There they are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Early in, tailgating is so great. We talked to the players at length about it over the last week, and some of the parents coming in from abroad, and of course with the country being opened up, what a difference. Some of them seeing their parents for the first time in over 20 months.
Yeah, we heard from so many players, especially from overseas, as you said, that have come over here to play, and some of them have yet to, you know, visit the school or be a part of, you know, hey, what is this like here? They just had to come, you know, and hopefully as things start to settle down a little bit, there will be some more traveling and more gatherings and family members able to see their daughters play, and you can come over and visit, you know, before you decide what school you're going to go to.
What school you want to go to.
Yeah.
Hostler breaking up that play, allowing Liberty's defense to set up. No one there, so be hit coming out for Liberty.
Maryland trying to make it to their 13th finals. They've won 8 national championships. Liberty, just their 3rd NCAA tournament appearance, first ever Final Four. What a feat it would be if they can pull off this win here today and head to the final game on Sunday. Maryland, though, Tornetta, they've been attacking here, trying to tie this game up. Seven saves today for Azul Aritsidi Edigoshin, the goalkeeper for Liberty.
Came up off the defensive stick into the defender, so that ball will be retained by Maryland.
They're getting opportunities here, Leah. It's Verlag who tried to push it in the circle, and it's Liberty And Lizzie Hamlet. There's that ball you're talking about. And even if you can't control it, right? It's changing up the field position, gives your players a chance to set back up when they're pressed.
Just takes the pressure off it. And again, I'm making comparison to ice hockey, but it's much like trying to ice the puck in hockey, just to get some pressure off so you can make some changes and do things on the fly here. But Terps being relentless.
They are in front, just outside, pushed right back in. Maryland battling for it here, trying to get a call. Instead, the shot on the way to the left of the goal by Taylor Mason.
Emily Dykma was the defender on that play. And while she went down, she didn't hear a whistle, so she was still trying to play for the ball, but she turned her head quickly to see if she was going to get the call going out the other way. That's having your head on a really on a swivel for your team.
Just to your point, though, for a moment, unlike hockey, where if it is icing, it comes back down to the other end. You don't have that here, so you're not sacrificing or giving anything up. I mean, you're changing field position. Maryland here with Castaldo. Restart quickly. They're going to bring it back. Verleg. Bolton stopped that one for the moment.
Liberty's okay with that, though, Mike, because the clock keeps moving. It's not like the clock had stopped, so then it becomes Maryland's problem to see how fast they want to restart it.
Yeah, I mean, you'd rather not be called for the infraction, but you'd rather not go in the circle.
Exactly.
So anytime if you're outside, you're going to keep doing that, whatever, right? Don't allow it in.
There's BB with her speed. Talked about this in the open. BB Donner has super acceleration. She too, with her height, has the ability to reach in and break up plays.
Backhanded shot, got deflected on its way. Another rebound. That's off the player for Liberty there in Kendra Jones, but kept back in here for Maryland. In front. Shot. What do we have here? Players diving on the floor, diving on the field. Obstruction, the call. And we've got a corner.
Maddie Hostler went down on that play, and it was so close to potentially being a stroke. Keep an eye on 16 in white, right there.
Almost.
Now, if that she's trying to quickly to get up. If that ball becomes covered up, then you can have a stroke in a whole different situation. So very unfortunate, actually, two players from the Flames were down.
This is so big here for Maryland on this corner. 1:17 to play in the third. They've had opportunities. Emma Deburdine. And it's deflected as it was Riley Donnelly that got the initial hit there, 22 for the Terps. Quickly, it's the other end of the field, and Liberty striking on the shot, the save from Frost, the rebound, it's put in! Liberty scores, it's 2-0. Hamlet on the rebound.
We talk about quick transitions. That ball comes out hot, and what you want to have happen is Van Hold with the goal.
Yeah, pardon me, Charlotte Vonhold. There it is.
All timing and running onto that ball. Extremely difficult for Frost to be able to clear that ball. You're trying to clear the ball out to the end line area, and that ricochet came out so far. The insurance goal here with just seconds ticking now in the third for the Liberty.
Charlotte Vonhold, the Netherlands senior, with her 8th of the season. She's the one that had a game winner in the shootout in the semis, or to get here to the semis in that win over Rutgers. Maryland has had some opportunities. They try to get, oh, they're going to have a deflection and score it and come right back. Almost the same exact thing. Maryland's on the board with 13 seconds to play here in this third quarter.
How you respond? And the transition once again, keep an eye on 12 black, BB Donrat, and an over-the-top swipe into the goal is good.
Her team leading 13th of the season, and BB Donrat from Maryland gets that goal right back for the Terps here. And that, how big is that,
and
Leah? Momentum.
Super job on the held whistle as well. Not to wipe that out, but to give Maryland the opportunity to be able to complete that play. And Donrat capitalizing, and we're back to a one-goal game with 1 quarter to play.
Instead of a 2-0 Liberty lead to the fourth with all the momentum, it is the Maryland Terrapins and BB Donrat in the right spot to knock it home and get one on the board from Maryland. It is 2-1 Liberty. We've played 3 quarters here from the University of Michigan. In the national semifinals, to the fourth quarter we go. Liberty leads at 2-1. 2-1 Liberty as we get set for the fourth quarter here in the semifinals. There's Harvard. They're getting ready for semifinal game number 2 versus Northwestern. That's coming up at 4 o'clock Eastern on ESPN+. And the winner of that game takes on the winner of this game for the national championship on Sunday. Congratulations to Reagan Underwood, the sophomore from Sinking Spring, Pennsylvania, for the Liberty Flames, the Elite 90 award winner for this year, Leah.
Journalism major, and it's also looked into with that 4.0 GPA, what you do in the community. And she was part of the athletics program, collecting over $4,000 for local schools. Share the Warmth program as well. So congratulations to Reagan, the top GPA for all the student athletes here participating at the Final Four.
All right, so the fourth is underway here. Liberty and Maryland. We didn't have any goals scored in the entire first half. Then we get into the third quarter, and all of a sudden Liberty gets one on the board, right? Well, we ended up with 3 goals in 10 minutes, 2 goals in 40 seconds as Liberty went up 2-0. How big was the one that Maryland got at the end of that third quarter?
Oh, the response goal was huge, and the fact that it really kind of sucked the life a little bit out of the celebration. Brought Liberty back down to focus. You know, they thought, okay, good, we got a little bit of cushion here. Never enough when you're playing at this level of play with so much on the line. And this is a Liberty team. Keep in mind, on the season we talked about, they have the #1 scoring average in the nation. This is a team that has scored 4 more goals 10 times this season. And this Maryland defense has held them in check.
Yep.
Now trying to look for an opportunity to tie this one up.
Five corners for each team here today. Maryland trying to get another, and on the board, and the shot. Donrat again.
Boy, that came off of the back area netting with such whip. I thought it hit the 18-inch boards.
Liberty with their first ever national semifinal appearance and looking to get to their first ever championship game, of course. Maryland trying to get their 9th title. They've won 8 in their history. It's been 10 years since 2011 where they're the national champions. Find themselves in a 2-1 deficit though right now, 2 minutes into this fourth quarter. Good passing here to midfield. Liberty, Fonhold is racing in front of the goal again. She's the one that scored the last one for the Flames to put them up 2-0. Now 2-1. It's kicked out that time by Frost. In the circle. corner.
Good job by Liberty to put it into the pack of black jerseys for Maryland. Watch the pressure in here and into the trio of the pack and the obstruction called. Liberty with an opportunity now in the corner.
Let's see what happens on this one here. 11:35. Two to one. Liberty trying to add to another here with Bethany Dykema, the inserter. It's set down by Jones. The shot in front, save Frost. Where's the rebound? It's out. Still in the circle. Second one on the way, no. And this is going to be Maryland ball here. It was
I'll tell you what, a lot was going on there.
Yeah.
A lot was going on there. And Frost recognized that the ball was not visible. And clearly, it had gotten caught inside of her pads.
6 corners now for Liberty. Oh for 6. They've scored their 2 in the field of play. Same thing for Maryland with 5 corners, 0 for 5. Oh, good takeaway there. That's Terps Juliana Tornetta, number 11. Hostler going after it, 16. She's got it. A little bit of space here. Puts it inside the circle. Her teammate, the shot just to the right of the goal. Once again. Donrat. Yep.
12 Donrat. Juliana Tornetta came over from Princeton. We've talked about the opportunities that have opened up for many players through COVID. And Tornetta certainly came in and stepped in right away for Coach Miss Mahar, a player with Final Four experience.
Here they come again. Trying to get a backhand on that one was Hope Rose. It's up to Hostler. We'll reverse it to the other side. Brooke Deburdine has it, number 8. Back inside the circle. Whistle against Maryland. "24 shots for Maryland in this game, Leah. 11 for Liberty."
And to think that they have been inside the 25 37 times. Again, a testament to the defense clamping it down inside the 25 in the circle area for the Flames.
Castaldo spins around, gets in the circle, flips it over. Hostler tries to hack away at it there, and it's going to go over to Liberty, or check at Rose, and we're going to get a review here. And that was Rose, Hope Rose, 19. Margot Lawn saying, "I want this reviewed." This will be our first video referral of the day here today. And Maryland thinking it's a penalty corner for them. We'll find out if they get it.
Taking a look at Maryland's asking for the penalty corner, saying that it was dangerous. So where they're looking right in here. Again, the Dykema sisters involved in that defensive area of play. The trio has been so solid for the Flames inside. And why not use the opportunity for the review in this spot in the game?
Each team has a video referral, 1 per game. They get it right, they keep it. They don't, they lose it, and they're out for the rest of the game. And normally it's taken and used in situations to get a penalty corner, because the officials can review goals and strokes, and they'll do that many times if it's in question. So the team here asks for the referral of this play to try to get a penalty corner out of it. The officials cannot ask for a review on a penalty corner opportunity one way or the other. So Maryland uses this referral and are looking for a corner here and a chance to potentially tie this at 2. The call was coming out to Liberty. And the player in question there, Bethany Dykema, number 5 for Liberty in white, and there's 19, Hope Rose for Maryland.
Right, and again, this is a great time to utilize this opportunity, especially when we're in single digits of the game. So Maryland is going to be able to retain their referral and the penalty corner. So this is a huge opportunity. Miss Mahar is looking for a stroke to be called now. She's looking up into the box. But there has to be an intentional situation to impede that swing through of the stick motion on the ball. Bethany Dykema, once again, defensively involved in that play. She was the player for Liberty in white, 5 white, that was involved, that created that whole chain of scenarios here of the official review.
So not enough for the stroke. They're going to get the corner, though, and Maryland has a chance to tie it here at 2. 9:22 to play in the game. Donnelly back for Rose. Rose back to the inserter. The shot in front of deflection. And another corner here. And now Liberty wants this one reviewed. So the corner is the call for Maryland. Liberty immediately went over to the umpire and said, we want it reviewed.
So a nice job. Let's see if we have any type of contact with the body or obstruction here. I think it was more body action. Did it go off of a body? And yes, that's what Liberty's saying. No, 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 no. This should be a hit coming out. So they'll take a look at it and decide whether Liberty has a qualm here.
Brilliant feed behind the back there from Riley Donnelly to Hope Rose, who went back down to the inserter, Deburdine, and then she crossed it in front, and then that's where all that sequence happened. So here's Deburdine, who puts it in front, right? That's Margot Lawn there, 27, who hits it for Maryland. You see the umpire calling a corner.
Right. So, you know, let's say if it did go off of a body, but there is no angle of it, which is the tough thing. Right now, they have to stick with their decision. It has to be very clear on the review. Really difficult to see. So again, if it's tough with the angles, and it appears that we're going to have a corner called, so the Liberty will lose that referral.
Yeah, Joe Bolton pleading her case for her team for Liberty, but to no avail. So Liberty has lost the referral for the rest of the game. Cannot ask for any more. 9:11 left. It's 2-1 Flames still in the lead. Maryland knocking on the door here. You can see their teammates saying, let's go, let's tie this up. Does it happen here in this corner? We'll see. Donnelly this time shoots it. It's saved in front by Ida Goshen, but it's going to draw yet another corner.
Ashley Dykema trying to play that down as that came down. Good job at, Don Rett and her teammates trying to get on that play inside the circle area. Tripp's trying to set it up once again.
Deburdine. Rose down a shot.
Came up off a defensive stick. Be a long hit for the Terps. Trying to move quickly now.
Riley Donnelly, 22 in the restart, quickly over to Verleg. Pops it inside the circle. Bolton got a stick on it. Couldn't quite get it all the way out there. Verleg now back inside the circle. Sideline kept in. And Liberty has been able to shut down in a variety of ways. 8 corner opportunities for Maryland in this game. It's still 2-1. Flames on top.
Yeah, Maryland getting wise, recognizing 25 in white going wide there and keeping an eye on Jill Bolton, getting the numbers back. Bolton forcing the obstruction call to retain possession.
It's over to Kendra Jones now. And here's Ashley Dykema Pereira, 14 for the Flames. Fonholm inside the circle. And Maryland's Maura Verlag pushes it out. We are halfway through the 4th quarter here in the national semifinals. Winner to the national championship game on Sunday. Liberty's never been there. Maryland's been there 12 times, and they've won 8 national championships. Corner. Yep.
That's a tough one. Deburdine was trying to come up and actually play the player tight. And unfortunately, watch what's happens. The body contact taking out of the play. Even though that ball's outside the circle, potential enough for that corner to be called. So Maryland's going to challenge it here. Yeah, Maryland's going to challenge it, and why not? Because it's the difference, Mike, of a corner being called or a play coming out.
Right. It's a good challenge for sure.
Especially when you're down a goal. And honestly, without timeouts, you know, we've gone to the quarters instead of the halves. It gives Maryland an opportunity to kind of talk things over a little bit on the sidelines.
Yeah, because it was hit out by Liberty right here.
Yeah, and I just think, and honestly, it wasn't intentional enough. I think we're in that kind of gray area from the sun to the shade.
Yeah, well, it's interesting too because, yeah, I mean, Dykema Pereira, she kind of, you know, lost it, kind of pushed it out there on the end line, but it was enough contact, and the corner's going to be upheld. So I think that's the call. The reason for it was the contact, although it's tough if you're Maryland because that ball went out of bounds.
Exactly. And again, it's in that shaded area. You're trying to control your body. Everybody's running at it quick.
Right.
All right, okay, so you're wondering, okay, why is that happening with Bethany Dykema watering the field? She wants to keep the ball down on the insert, get it up quickly.
Just over 7 minutes to play in the 4th quarter. 2-1 Flames. Can they add another? It's deflected over the top, and it's another corner. It's Deburdine, and he's slow to get up, but
the big rush and that suicide coming up, and unfortunately catching it right in the foot. And you're so happy that you're in the sunlight, even though it's freezing.
Here we go again. Set down in front, knocked down, good job. That was Verlag that time for Maryland, number 4, but it's right back inside the circle here, and it's going to be coming out, though, to Maryland. So they survive a corner. Now each team's had 8. Both teams 0 for 8. Maryland, quick transition. Castaldo. In the circle, can she draw a corner? Nothing yet. Tornetta.
A lot of work done by Maryland here to get that ball down quickly in the field. We're starting to get into an area where Missy Maharg and her team has to start thinking about, okay, get under 5 minutes. When do we pull Noelle Frost and get the opportunity for that extra player on the field for the Terps? Saw that throw downfield. That ball's going to come down into a space of a 5-meter area.
Bolton. And Deburdine again for Maryland. on the sidelines. Good ball there.
Nice play down. Dykema. Hey,
nice tap.
Look at this.
Castaldo able to get it from Maryland. Terps possession.
Castaldo had 6 years of high school play before she came a Terp at a high level.
Another hit in front. Whistle, that's a corner. There we go. Maryland, another penalty corner coming up with just over 5 minutes left of the game.
And again, set piece, clock stop now. For the Terps, have to be efficient. And that ball coming in dangerous. Coming out on the kick out.
I mean, Edegoshin has played so well, but you said it, Leah, you got to be able to control it, right?
Yeah.
And she made a hard save that time, popped it up into the air. Maryland's got their 9th corner of the game coming up here. How many more times can the Flames put a stop to it? We'll see. This is for the tie. Shot on the way in front. Stroke is called. You said it. Maryland's going crazy here, and this is going to be their best chance tonight to tie this one up.
The defensive back line for Liberty has been so solid. You see Edegoshin looking for the ball. That kind of gave it away, but the body on the line, and here we go on the stroke.
Maryland, penalty stroke, chance to tie it. Rose, she scores it. Hope Rose makes it 2-2 with 4 minutes and 54 seconds to play.
Nice job. Little fake going one way to the other. The Big Ten Freshman of the Year just rips it into that lower corner. Here we go, under 5 minutes to go. And the winner will move on as Liberty trying to pin Maryland deep to their own territory.
10 goals this season, none bigger than that one right there. Tied at 2 and coming up on 4.5 minutes remaining. Liberty was up 2-0, and Maryland has come back to tie it.
We talked about taking advantage of set pieces, taking advantage. Hard whistle there, just a preventive officiating as that ball will come back. Taking advantage of those moments, and those may be the glaring moments, so they'll be the difference of one of these teams moving on to play for a national championship.
What a start to our Friday afternoon here at the University of Michigan. That was Maryland's first stroke goal of the year. I mean, to have it come at this time.
And no surprise that it coming from Hope Rose. She's no longer a freshman.
No.
You know, just a key piece and a big part of the future. And honestly, I think a big part of our country's future as far as national team abilities.
Yeah, off to the Junior World Cup in South Africa pretty soon. Special player, tied at 2. And it just kind of goes back to how big that goal scored by Maryland with under 15 seconds remaining in the third quarter was. Deburdine, who scored right after Liberty made it 2-0. This is going to be a corner. Another one egregious enough outside the circle, Leah, as you said, to garner a corner for Liberty.
Wainwright went and tried to poke at that ball, kind of poke check at that ball. And yes, and making that swipe move. Watch what happens. 17 in black for Maryland. Enough to garner that corner call. They knew it right away.
9th corner of the game for Liberty. Can they go back on top there? Goalkeeper Noelle Frost and her group trying to keep this a 2-2 game. We've got 3 minutes and 5 seconds remaining.
What a stat. 27 goals off corners this season for Liberty.
Highest scoring team in the nation here. Bethany Dykema to insert. Set down the shot. Oh, they tried to get the deflection there from Nettie Hostler. 16 on the opposite post and could not get it in. Didn't get the stick on it. What a game here today between these two. And it's crucial for each team, Leah, because they're both without the referrals for the rest of this game. So no more video referrals can be called by each team. And a crucial 2 minutes and 25 seconds left here in regulation. Maryland trying to work it the other way. No, it's kept in here by Kendra Jones, number 7 for Liberty. It's inside the circle. No call. Maryland's got it. And over to Castaldo.
Tough area of the field.
Yeah.
You just want to try to get yourself back into an open space and stay with the Terps.
Oh, and it's inside here for Bolton.
Good check. Good poke away at that ball by Rain White.
Minute and a half to go. In regulation here, this national semifinals.
Got away with one on a foot there. Got to keep playing through the whistle, and that's what Liberty's doing. They retain possession as we close into a minute.
Charlotte on hold that time, number 9. It's Kendra Jones for the restart.
Can I give Liberty a lot of credit bringing the ball deep into that safe territory, hard whistle.
Ashley Dykema Pereira. Draw a call, and it's just pushed right out there by Maryland's Kyler Greenwald.
It's just so slippery in that shaded area right now. It's hard to get your footing to cut back the opposite way.
Yeah, this entire area has had no sun here throughout from the moment we stepped into the stadium area at 10 a.m. this morning. You can still see a little bit of the snow cover that they tried to clear out. Jody Connolly now here for the Flames. 29 seconds remaining.
Side of the stick.
Yep.
Trying to rush it a little bit. What Liberty was trying to do, Mike, in the possession of the field that they were in, they've got to bring that ball back. Maryland does just try to get to a corner situation.
10 seconds remaining. Fitting here in this game today between these two. We're going to be headed to overtime. Maryland 2, Liberty 2, national semifinals, winner to the championship game on Sunday. We need overtime to figure it out. It was 2-0 Liberty. The Terps came back to tie it. When we return, we go to overtime from Michigan after this. There's our stats of this game. Maryland 29 shots in this one. How about the corners? 9 apiece. And only the 1 goal scored on the corner. Well, actually not, because it was on the stroke where they got it from the corner. But 9-9, pretty amazing what these teams have done defensively. And the goalkeepers, Edie Goshen for Liberty and Frost for Maryland. We're heading to overtime. How about the records in overtime for these two teams this season?
Liberty 3-1 in overtime plays. Excuse me. Maryland 3-1 in overtime plays. Liberty 1-0. Back-to-back overtime games now for the Liberty Flames.
Overtime rules here. We have up to 2 10-minute overtime sudden victory periods. If we don't have a winner after that, we're going to go to the shootout. So sudden victory here, 10-minute overtime 1. We'd go to overtime 2 if we don't have a goal. And then the shootout, and it's 5 shots apiece for each team. And if nothing after that, go to a sudden victory shootout format. So this is going to be exciting here in the national semifinals to go to OT with Liberty and Maryland. The winner moves on to the championship game on Sunday to take on the winner of Harvard and Northwestern, and that's coming up a little bit later this afternoon.
I feel sorry for Harvard and Northwestern too. They've had to wait around all day, but you know what? They've watched some exciting hockey. Those two teams, anticipation is overwhelming right now as Maryland and Liberty step back onto the field. Sudden victory opportunity. This will be a wide open opportunity. 6 field players and the goalkeeper. I think between the speed of these two teams, they're going to look to try to force it to get it into the circle, get a set piece, and a corner call.
We only had 1 card earlier today as well, too. You said you can get one of those here in this overtime period.
It's a little more glaring.
Yeah,
a little bit more glaring.
Next goal wins here, and the winner moves on to the championship game. 2-2, Liberty and Maryland overtime here from Oker Field at the University of Michigan. This is Liberty's Connolly who has it. We got Bolton out there, 25. Bethany Dykema, number 5. And over there was Ashley Dykema Pereira, who lost it on the sideline. And a card comes out, as you just mentioned that. And we have it here in overtime, less than 30 seconds in. What happened?
Not 5 away on that hit coming in on the side in after the opportunity. So Maryland will retain possession.
That is huge. Ashley Dykema Pereira has to head out for the 2 minutes. Maryland has the player advantage here in the overtime. Inside the circle, keep an eye on 12 and 16. BB Dunrat, she scored that 1 goal there. Emma Deburdine, 16.
Much better angle here. Normally you'd have somebody rushing in on that post
Right.
side, you know?
Should have enough players out there, exactly. Opposite side, there's Brooke Deburdine, number 8. I feel like you get an opportunity for more, crisp passes and spacing, right, Leah, with a 6-on-6 out here, and chance to get something potentially in transition.
You take a chance there, as Verlick was waiting for that ball to go over the back line to take the hit coming out, but it slowed up pretty good.
There's an extra ball on the field, so that kind of slowed things up. And Maryland, his clock is running, and they're on the extra player right now here with 55 seconds remaining.
Push some numbers up, you can carry the ball just a little bit deeper as Donrat looks. Good anticipation, though.
And a good takeaway that time from Connolly, who got at the Fon hold.
Joe Bolton going to make sure that the numbers push ahead, take a little bit of time off the clock, be smart with things.
Kendra Jones over there on the far side with Dykema 5, and now Ashley Dykema Pereira is back in 14, and she's got it right at midfield. It's on Liberty. It's Maryland ball here, and Deburdine says, let's go. Verleg 4, 22 Donnelly. Liberty's back at full strength. Under 7 minutes to play in overtime period number 1.
Maryland trying to stay with some structure here. Deburdine in the middle, number 8 in black. Kind of that set piece of a triangle there to provide some options, and Maryland just staying home, not trying to overplay. Team's trying to run some fresh legs back onto the field, both sides.
Yeah, that's the thing. Don't forget about how cold it is right here today. I mean, 40 degrees. The sun, a little different, in the sun, but there's a whole section over here that's not seeing the sun today here on the near side, right side of your screen. But
you want to be the wing players on the opposite side of the field right now. There's no question about it. Running along where those fans are.
See a couple players out there without the long sleeves, and one of them right there who has it for Liberty is Kendra Jones. The other's Deburdine for Maryland, number 8.
Look out here. Good break up.
Verlag that time for Maryland.
Verlag has been solid in the back.
Verlag going into 4 white jerseys though, and Tornetta tries to come down with it. She had it for the moment. Jones chasing after it for Liberty. Flames possession. Overtime period number 1. Next school wins here. Sudden victory in the semifinals between Maryland and Liberty. Winner to the championship game on Sunday. Liberty scored with Jill Bolton and Charlotte Fonhold to make it 2-0. Maryland came back with a goal from BB Donrat, and then Holt Rose on a penalty stroke to tie it at 2. And we're here in overtime with 4.5 to go. Deburdine. Under 4 minutes to go in overtime. Verlag outside the circle there. Deburdine, along with Donnelly, 22. Deburdine tries to make something happen here. Hits it in. Picked out by Edie Goshen. Whistle. And that is a corner. Off the foot, they say, of the Liberty player, and it draws a penalty corner here for Maryland. They say off of Daniela Rhodes that time, and a chance for Maryland to win it.
And a good job. Nice crossing ball. Edie Goshen here trying to pick it up on the clear. Comes right out to a turf stick. Off of that Holt stick. And Verlag could not get a handle on it to release. I don't know, I've got a feeling something may be set up here. Keep an eye on BB Dunrat after she inserts this ball, Mike. Number 12.
Verlag and Donnelly up at the top. It's to Verlag. You said it, they try to go back to Donrat, but it's knocked out. Good job by Liberty's Ashley Dykema-Pereira.
Good anticipation by the Flames.
Good recovery by Maryland here. Overtime, 3:10 remaining. Donrat, pass knocked down. Liberty's Martu Sion. Sion inside the circle. What happens here? Whistle corner. Falling down was Donrat, and impeded that time Martu Sion, and it's a corner for Liberty, and they've got a chance to end it here.
And a relentless effort there. Watch what happens, and unfortunately Donrat, as she slipped, that ball slides right into her, making that call easy. Can't hold the whistle. There's no way to be able to have an advantage on the play. So Liberty now opposite end of the field here with their first solid opportunity in overtime.
Liberty, if they can win it, their first national championship game appearance in their history. Reagan Underwood inserts. You got Kendra Jones up at the top with Charlotte Fonhold. Shot of the way, save, rebound. Frost had it the second try. She's got it again. Puts it down and kicks it out. Stellar job, right, Lee, to not hold on to that. Have another corner called. Instead, she drops it, kicks it out.
And Noah Frost juggling that ball in front of her, not hiding it at all. Again, she hides it, retains it inside. The potential for a stroke to be called.
Wow. 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. Overtime period number 1. If nobody scores here, we go to another overtime at 10 minutes. Deburdine. Over to Verleg up at the top. More of Verleg in the circle. Got an opportunity, back in and shot. Oh, they couldn't quite get it. And they had in front Emma Deburdine, 16 as well.
And I'll tell you what, that far post, and this is the angle to see it. Look at how wide open that far post is, even with it outstretched. Oh, that should go back to Liberty.
Oh,
actually,
here.
Court coming.
Yep. Is that on Rose? Hope Rose, 19's coming off the field here for Maryland. A green card, 2 minutes.
Playing the ball after the call was made. So again, and unfortunately, you don't want that type of a glaring situation to overshadow where you have come from to get to this point.
Now it's 6-on-5 here. Field players here in this overtime period. It's going to be Maryland ball, though, with just a minute remaining.
Maryland's not going to be in any hurry at all. Take as much time as they possibly can. Liberty's got to challenge it, I think. Come up onto the ball, run up to the ball, onto the ball a little bit here.
Sudden victory. Next goal wins here in this overtime period. If nobody scores in 50 seconds, we go to overtime period number 2 of 10 minutes. And then after that, if nothing, a shootout. We do go to overtime period number 2. It's going to be Liberty with the player advantage for the first minute, as it will carry over into that frame. Ashley Dykema-Pereira here, 20 seconds remaining. Inside the circle, it's popped in. Stays in, hit out. 10 seconds left in the overtime, the first overtime. And excellent effort again by Deburdine. Boy, is she all over the place or what? Number 8 from Maryland.
Talk about a spark plug.
That's the end of the first overtime. Liberty's going to start with a player advantage for the first 44 seconds of overtime number 2. And we come back to the University of Michigan after this. We are back at Oker Field here at the University of Michigan. 2-2, Liberty and Maryland to the second overtime we go. Mike Corey, Leah Secondo, how about it?
Yeah, you come right down to the corners opportunities, and when you have 6 field players like this, this is the area of efficiency. You're trying to force that play into the circle to turn into a corner, but you have 2 solid defensive teams led by 2 of the best in the country in goal. And they have stood tall as we look at the bracket. What's at stake? Liberty and Maryland, Harvard, Northwestern, trying to get to Sunday's championship game and take home that natty.
Harvard Northwestern, they've been waiting around for a while. Initially, their game is pushed back an hour. Yeah, it's at 4 o'clock because the snow and ice on the field, they had to clear off. So this game started an hour later, and now we're into the second overtime. So here we go, underway.
Both these goalkeepers have been peppered all afternoon. The defenses in front of them have been spectacular, and this is the first time that there have been at least 30 shots in a semifinal game going back to those great Old Dominion teams of the mid-90s. We thank our encyclopedia of knowledge, Chip Rogers, for that great stat.
Nine saves by the Liberty goalkeeper today, Azul Aritsiri Idigoshin, and 7 for Noelle Frost for Maryland.
Look out, 2v1 opportunity. You want to run out to the ball. Frost has to make a decision.
Let's it go, and it goes out. Amazing.
It's never graceful, right? You know, Noelle Frost is running with that big equipment on, but she had to make a decision there, Mike, because you're running up onto the ball. Could have definitely turned into a 1v1 situation.
Next goal wins. Second overtime here between Liberty and Maryland. The Terps are back at full strength, by the way. They had the green card toward the end of the overtime period number 1, and they carried over, but now they're back with their full 6 field players here in this second overtime. 6 on 6, plus the goalkeepers. Here's Liberty's Reagan Underwood, and sails it down the other end.
Just a little bit too far ahead. She was really trying to get that into 2-5 White's hands and let Jill Bolton go to work. Bolton breaking that one up. Careful. Don't want a card to come out here.
Right. Deburdine, 16 for Maryland. Working there with teammates Dave Clune, Tornetta, Brooke Deburdine, Donnelly, and Verleg, who has it now. Verleg's inside the circle. Keeps it in front. Edie Goshen slides down and gets back into goal.
Wow. Big chance there, too. That's the confidence that Edie Goshen has in her defense.
Liberty made a substitution, and there it is. And calling for it was Martu Siad, who has it now and comes up the field in good position. Siad going up against Deburdine and gets it inside the circle. .6:45 remaining, second overtime.
Siad trying to overplay just a little bit based on where the ball is on the field. Uh-oh.
Nice lead pass up ahead. Juliana Tornetta. They're really moving fast here now, these balls.
Well, and it's interesting because I thought that ball kind of slowed down a little bit in the sun. We haven't watered the field, keep in mind, because of the temperatures that we have. Hard whistle, gonna have a card here.
Huge call right now, this second overtime. Coming off the field, Maeve Clune for Maryland.
See what Clune does running up. It's from the backside tackle. And the way that she had her stick down, impeding the progress of the ball on that play.
2-minute green card. That's twice now. They've had 2 of the players go out. 6 on 5 for Liberty.
Good hustle there by Deburdine to get back, though she does get the call on her. Liberty's trying to push some numbers ahead. Go backwards to go forward with the player advantage. Verleg once again stepping in nice defensively. Oh, right up into the defender. Oh, they're actually going to retain it, up the stick. Up the stick of the defender into her own body, so we'll stay with Liberty.
Next goal wins. The backhand right there.
Yep, play on.
It's kept in and it's coming out.
Kept the stick low, wasn't doing anything wild, wasn't impeding the play.
Liberty has the player advantage right now. Another 40 seconds or so.
Carried a little bit farther too when you have this much space though. And once again, the length of Bolton shining through, though the foul is called on her.
Donnelly from Maryland, 22. Ready to come back on for Maryland. It's going to be BB Donrat, so they're back at full strength. Donrat.
Yeah. Better chase her down.
Right into the circle. is getting marked by Kendra Jones for Liberty. Maryland, nice pass back up at the top of the circle. Here she is, Donrat, back in.
Bibi Donrat sprinted back out onto the field. A nice job there in the finish there by Dekama to get that call back to Liberty, but the ball now quickly with the Terps. Here's Donrat.
Jones is on her. Donrat inside the circle. Next goal win. Second overtime in front. And knocked out. Tornetta had a stick on it for the moment there. Now Liberty slaps it all the way down the other end of the field.
Which side of the pylon will it go? Wow! What an area to put that ball. If it's to the right of the pylon, it becomes a hit coming all the way out. Now look where you've pinned the defense within a foot maybe to now get that ball out of the back.
Yeah, you get a little bit of a pressure here from Liberty. There's Fonhold 9 and Bolton. They're not just going to allow the easy passes, but it is moved up the sideline nicely here by the Terps and over midfield, and that's Verleg, who's had a real nice game here today, the junior from the Netherlands. And now Maryland with 2.5 to play here in the second overtime. Trying to get something going. If not, we're headed to a shootout to decide who gets to go to the national championship game. Donrat flips it in the circle. No whistle. Wow. Still no whistle. Donrat trying to feed it over to Verleg, and it's intercepted, and Liberty has it. Fonhold gets hit. No call. Verleg the other way from Maryland. She is taken down at the top of the circle. What do you got there, Leah?
Yeah, Dykema went low. You have to be careful when you're shielding in.
Okay. Yeah, it looks one way, but it's going the other. And now,
speaking of that,
Bolton in front of the shot. Score! Liberty wins it! The Flames are heading to the national championship game. Liberty to the national championship for the first time in program history, and they did it in double overtime, knocking off Maryland 3-2.
one end of the field to the opposite end of the field, and a very nice pass in by Reagan Underwood. The ball gets into the middle of the field, slide, and then the knock home.
Charlotte Fonhold does it again. That's 2 today for her. The hero of this one as Liberty moves on to the championship.
The hero in this one and the hero thus far. Fonhold had the game winner to send Liberty into this round. And what a total team effort. How exciting for Liberty now playing for their first national championship. But you got to credit Maryland. They left it all. We talk about leaving it all on the field. A game that could have gone either way.
Maryland finishes their season at 15-7. And in the national semifinals, falling to Liberty, who improves to 20-2 and will move on to the championship game. 3-2 the final in double overtime. And they'll get the winner of Harvard and Northwestern That's coming up next here on ESPN+. What an outstanding effort by the Flames. They've been doing it all year, Leah. They've beaten so many good teams, and they can add Maryland to the list. And they do it here in the semifinals.
Talk about soaking in the moment. And want to be able to soak in the moment. Liberty certainly is right now, sharing this moment with their fans.
So Liberty wins it in double overtime over Maryland. They will move on to the championship game Sunday at 2 o'clock Eastern on ESPNU, and look forward to seeing who they will play. It'll be either Harvard or Northwestern, and that is coming up just a little bit here on ESPN+. So the first semis in the books. Pretty exciting, Leah, here. Had to go to double overtime to decide this one between two awesome teams this year.
Hold on to your heart, because we've got one more coming up ahead of you.
Charlotte Vonhold, number 9, the hero for Liberty. 2 goals in this game, including the game winner in double overtime. And Liberty moves on to the championship game. 3-2 the final over Maryland in double overtime.